Long ago, a dreadful war was fought between the goddess and the vile god. Because they were equally matched, they both created a vast number of special weapons embedded with their godly energy, each containing the life force of a fairy. Armed with these weapons, the deities continued the conflict until they finally sealed each other away into the great unknown. A long time has passed since the ancient conflict, and the weapons created by the goddess and the vile god have since scattered across the world. These weapons, known as Furies, are highly sought after by the warriors who call themselves fencers. It is said that whoever collects a Fury will be granted one wish. When a young man named Fang decides to radically pull a Fury from a stone, he inadvertently becomes a fencer himself, forever altering the course of his destiny. Welcome to OtakusandGeeks.com Reviews. Justin here, and today I'll be reviewing the RPG game Fairy Fencer F for your PlayStation 3. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the story and the characters, because that's what we do here, and it's an RPG. So I want to talk a little bit about the protagonist Fang, who you as the player will be taking control of. I love this guy's character. I love anti-heroes, and Fang is one cool anti-hero only because of two things. His motives are the most simplest I've seen in an RPG. All this guy really desires, all this guy really wants out of life is two things, and that is to eat delicious food and sleep a very long time. That's all Fang does. He has no real ambitions. He has no real goals in life before he became a fencer. And even when he's a fencer, he still has those same goals of all I want to do is eat, all I want to do is sleep. And I thought he was really good for like comedic elements of the game. He also has a great supporting cast with him. He's traveling with the girl Tara, which you'll see here in the silverish hair. She is very bougie. I hated her character. I mean, I love her interaction with her, but I really hate her character because she is just so stuck up. She's very snobby, very bougie. I mean, when they first meet, Fang saves her and she's like, "Oh, you're my servant now. Thank you, servant." And it's just great as the game progresses to see how these two play off each other. And she's a little bit of a mystery too, because you still do not know what her true motives is as you progress into the game. Is she really good with us? Is she not with us? Is she going to show herself as a villain? I love that play while I was going through the game. Overall, the story is pretty cool. I mean, it's really basic. I like the elements of fairies. I like how they use fairies in this game, because fairies, you know, they really don't get that much play or much characterization or much story, and it's nice to see how fairies are used in a more refreshing, unique way as weapons. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the gameplay here. Now, as stated in the synopsis, that the vile god and the goddess have sealed themselves away into a great unknown. This right you see on the screen is the great unknown. Now, in order to release the goddess or the vile god, you have to pull out one of these swords that they have been stuck in. Now, for storyline purposes, I've been pulling a sword out for the goddess because that is the wish of the fairy who is partnered with us once you become a fencer. So her goal is to free the goddess. So once you choose which section you want to do, each sword has a specific rank. So you have rank S, rank A, rank B, rank C. C will be the lowest. And from there you go into a battle which will help you. Once you finish the battle, you'll be able to unlock more dungeons. Now, let's talk a little bit about the actual gameplay. The gameplay is a turn-based RPG. It's not like your Tales of Symphonia or your Final Fantasy type of turn-based RPG. While Tales is more move around, you pressing a button to mash. Think of it as a combination of the two. You have to wait your turn in order to do your hits, but you can still move around. It's not like the old school Final Fantasies where you can't move around and you still hit. This time you can move around and still hit, and from there you're able to have certain attacks. From right here, she goes into her ultimate fencer mode. From there, your fencer mode is more powerful attacks. You do that when you combine with your fairy, and as you can see here, you have various items and various attacks that you can do. This is the Tempest Waltz, which is one of her strongest attacks in the game. So special. You can use this once your meter on the, I'll show you in a few minutes, once your meter on the upper screen is halfway blue. It can't be purple, it has to be halfway blue. And from there you have magical spells. As you can see from the upper screen there, it's all the way blue, so she's able to use the fairy's attacks. You also have the Fairy Eyes mode, which is the ultimate attacks as well, and now I'm going to show you Fang's attack. It's pretty good turn-based RPG. The bosses do get a little bit difficult down the line, but especially the side bosses and certain side missions I found a little bit difficult. There is going to be a lot of grinding in this. If you're not a grinder for RPGs, this might not be the one for you, but there is a lot of grinding, especially if you want to collect all 100 fairies. You have to collect 100 fairies in order to, if you want to really fully complete the game. And it's pretty much, I really did enjoy it. I also enjoyed music. We had the godfather of RPG music, Nobuo, who I think is the godfather, Nobuo from Final Fantasy, Nobuo from Final Fantasy 7. He did most of all the Final Fantasies, and the score, he did a pretty decent job. I mean, it's the music, I would say it's not his best, but it's good enough for this game. He uses, you can tell he did a little experimenting with a lot of different sounds this time around, and you know, for this universe, it works well. Overall, the gameplay is pretty good. I enjoyed myself. I found, you know, finding more combinations and more power-ups and more magic and combining different fairies for your power and weapon upgrades, which I'm about to show you. I found that to be very refreshing, very cool. And as you can see, once I defeated the C rank of the sword, a sword gets removed and the goddess is starting to slowly but surely get free. So once you free the goddess, obviously I won't spoil it, but you'll see what happens. So, and from there, I'm gonna show you guys what you guys want to see, what I was talking about. Now that I finished beating the goddess, I'm able to use one of my fairies powers to unlock new dungeons. From here, you get to create more furies and unlock more fairies, and the more fairies you capture or that align with you, the more chances and better chances you have for new dungeons, new worlds, new weapons, and you'll be able more to free either the Vile God or the goddess. Now this is our upgrade system. You can be able to upgrade your weapons, your magic attacks, magic defense, your fury form, which is the ultimate attack I just showed you when they get more stronger. Here's another cool thing, combos. You get to upgrade how many times you are able to hit in a single session of your hit. So for example, you press X to attack, depending how much combo slots you have, your player, Fang or Tara, will be able to take 3 to 4 or 6 hits at a time on the enemy, which will be really helpful, especially during boss battles. Here you have also the ability to boost your skills and learn new skills. Your magic, fireball, burn line, and here's certain items. So I mean, the upgrade system is pretty deep, and here's the combos that you can combine yourself with. Things that they learn, you can purchase. Everything's here, and it's pretty in depth for an RPG game, which I found myself really enjoying what they were doing with this and what they were going with this. I had a great time with this. I thought the story was cool, the music's cool. You can also obviously upgrade your fairy, so this is important. You get to choose which fairy works for you is going to be your key. Each fairy has a special ability. Some have better defense, some have more powerful offense. So it's up to you to figure out which fairy is going to work for your player, which fairy is going to work for you. So for here, my fairy, this one I use because he has a stronger attacking. I like to have my main offensive usually have attacks. I'm not much of a magic guy. So overall, you guys, Fairy Fencer F, I'm going to give this a 7.5. It's a pretty good RPG. It's actually a nice budget RPG too, so it's like only $40. So if you're looking for a nice lengthy RPG, if you love Nobuo Uematsu, I'm so sorry, I'm not good with Japanese, but if you like Nobuo from Final Fantasy, his music, you're gonna enjoy this composition. It's a new experiment, new different sounds he was going with. The graphics it's okay. It's not what you expect. I mean, this is a budget RPG, so I enjoy the graphics. I'm not much of a graphic whore, so it doesn't really matter to me, but the graphics is pretty good. The story, I really love Fang's character. I love Tara's character. I love the interaction with it. So we have good characters, decent graphics, Pretty cool gameplay here. A lot of grinding, especially if you want those side missions done, if you want side bosses done who will kill you in a heartbeat. So it's very challenging. It's pretty cool. Combos are good. Gameplay is good. It's a pretty good game. You guys should check it out. This is Justin from OtakusGeeks.com saying later days. Fairy Fencer F gets a 7.5 out of 10. I'll catch you on the next one. Later days.